I'll hit the kind of injury report a little bit before I take questions, kind of help us all out. Nick Bowers did not practice today. He's got something going on with his shoulder and his neck, and so we'll evaluate as we get going, but he will be out this week. Dallin Levitt was out today. Hopefully we'll get him back hopefully tomorrow. And then Hankins was limited today, but we did get some work out of him. Obviously, you've probably already heard, we signed Desmond Trufant to the 53. Right now, Teamer will go on IR. He'll miss the next 3 games. And then we signed DJ Fluker to the practice squad. I'll be happy to take any questions.
You think Teamer's more long-term than the 3 games, or you think 3?
We don't, at this particular point, we're hoping it's just 3 games.
For Fluker, he's obviously has a lot of experience. I know he's on the practice squad right now, but what sort of role do you envision for him as he comes along?
Well, he's coming off of the surgery. You know, he's kind of coming in where he's got to get himself in a little bit better physical condition. So we're going to kind of wean him through practice a little bit, see where we can get him over this week, and then certainly going into the bye week, get some work out of him, and hopefully he can get good enough physical condition to kind of get through the whole practice and play in a physical level. And we'll see how it goes going forward.
How soon do you expect, or do you expect Trufant to contribute right away? And what have you seen out of him to bring?
He had a good day today. He's been in the system. Maybe the verbiage has been a little bit different, but we're expecting him to be in a 3-man rotation and contribute to us going into the game this week.
Hey, Rich, how much of a breakthrough did you see in the running game this past weekend in Denver with the offensive line, which has been kind of in flux, but it seemed like they were able to get some holes for you?
Yeah, like I said after the game, I thought we ran the ball a little bit better, and we had a little bit more maybe downhill runs, and I thought Coach Cabe and his crew, Austin and Cam, I thought they did a really good job. Gave our guys some confidence. We came off the ball, I thought, with better pad level, and then better hands in better places, and so it's a work in progress still.
I know, you talked last week about things kind of being status quo in terms of the defense is what it is. Greg has the offense, you have special teams, but did today feel like this is real normalcy, like you're actually back to normal? And I know you're trying to block it all out, but like today is kind of like, now we've got 1 game out behind us, 1 game ahead.
Yeah, again, we're just, we're looking forward. We know we got a formidable opponent coming in here at home, and we had a tough Wednesday's practice in pads, and it did felt like a hard Wednesday's practice.
Any concern at all of an emotional letdown after everything that happened last week? They went into Sunday, going into this week's game?
Emotions are part of all of us. Emotions are part of the game. Emotions are part of our practice, and emotions are a humanistic quality. So am I concerned? No, I think we all have to decide how we're going to respond to everything that happens in our lives, whether it's something that happened before, something that's going to happen later, or something that's getting ready to happen right now. How we respond to everything really is just kind of how we forge our identity.
Are you the type of coach, the type of person that tries to gauge that? And are there ways, short of what happens in the game on Sunday, to be able to maybe gauge that body, how people are carrying themselves, demeanor?
Well, again, I just think we're all in here building relationships with each other, players to players, coaches to coaches, players to coaches, and so on. So they're together a lot in the cafeteria, they're together a lot in the locker room, we're coming upstairs, they're talking to coaches, we're in meeting rooms. So I think we're trying to build relationships throughout the building, so we can all see if we can accomplish one goal 1 week at a time. So today we got through a tough Wednesday's practice. We'll look at it, and we'll start tomorrow on Thursday.
But you guys have had some issues in the red zone when it comes to scoring touchdowns on offense and then preventing touchdowns on defense. Just kind of from reviewing the film and observing throughout the season, what sort of room for improvement have you seen, on both sides of the ball when it comes to the red zone?
Well, I think, again, we're going to do self-evaluation no matter where we are on the field. We talked about what we did early in the drives this past week, and we're going to constantly look at red zone when we get ourselves down in there close. And short yardage, we had the big penalty in the game last week as well. So we're going to constantly self-evaluate and see if we can get ourselves doing better in all areas.
Is there any discussion, I know you're focused on just Sunday, but you do have a bye week ahead. Is there any kind of a discussion of like, hey, just get through this and then you have the bye, not looking forward to it?
No, I mean, the players, they already know the bye week schedule. It's already been put up. They had a chance to make plans if they need to. The coaches and we already know what we're doing on the bye week. So we're looking forward to finishing today's meetings and looking forward to tomorrow morning.
What challenges would you say that Jalen Hurts may present to your front seven that may, that are very similar to kind of what the other quarterbacks that have provided this season have shown?
You know, he's one of the leading rushers, and certainly he's extremely talented. He has the ability to extend plays not only on third down, but on first down, you know, whether he's drops back or he's running quarterback runs or quarterback reads. So he's an emerging player in this league. He's brought his team back a couple times close to winning it or has won it. So, you know, he's going to be a little bit of a problem.
You guys all set? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Seemed like y'all got things going a little bit more, pop off a couple of big plays last week. What do you think changed for y'all?
I think that collectively we just came in with the right mindset. We knew with all the controversy we had on the outside, with everything that was going on, that we kind of needed to make a statement, and just kind of the progression of what we wanted to do. So yeah, it was a good week for him.
Josh, having that right mindset, which you guys obviously did on Sunday. You know, in the past couple of years, as you handled success, the team, sometimes it didn't work out so well. Second half of last season's the last couple of years. How do you make sure that right mindset stays the way it needs to be moving forward?
I mean, I would say, obviously the coaches, but the guys that we got in the room, the captains, and just the mentality that the guys have that we brought in, especially the new addition guys. Everybody kind of just want to win. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of got that hunger of wanting to be better each day. We kind of got after each other today. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, we not really satisfied with how things was or what we done to this point. We all kind of got a common goal, and we trying to achieve it. So, yeah.
When you say got after each other today,
Yeah.
in what respect?
Like, it was like we worked today. We went full pass, and we actually got after each other. Like, it was kind of a grind day, which was pretty good. I felt fast on a Wednesday. I don't remember the last time I felt fast on a Wednesday in a long time. So, yeah.
You talked about everything that went on last week, and I know everybody tried to block it out, but it was there. It was everywhere you looked.
Yeah.
Did today feel like everything's back to normal? You can just breathe and be like, it's just football now?
When the game came, it really felt like it was back to normal, honestly. Once we put the pass on everybody, and we looked at each other in the locker room, really it was the day before the game. When Coach had us all, like, we had a players meeting, and we kind of looked at each other and we kind of talked about everything, how we felt and how we wanted to, what we wanted to achieve. And what the main goal was, regardless of who was coaching and who wasn't, that kind of set everybody like in the right state of mind.
When you said you felt faster than ever on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
Does that mean you're just feeling fully healthy, or was it a product of the intensity of practice?
Yeah, I mean, this the second week. I haven't been 2 weeks in a row since I've been in the league where I've came out of games with like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no scratches, no nothing. Like, this is the first time I felt like just good. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I felt fast. Like, I had a lot of energy today. I had a lot of juice today.
Something that I kind of noticed just from watching the game is your excitement for seeing Kenyon Drake be able to
Yeah.
perform at such a high level. Someone that you really vowed for to bring into the locker room. How great was it to see him have the performance he did?
Yeah, man, I don't think people understand that. That's really my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be with each other the off season before he even came here. We used to train together when he would come back to Bama and all them type of things. So, man, I tell them, like, I don't want this to be a one-man show. I mean, my body don't want this to be a one-man show, you feel me? So I tell him, like, you know what I'm saying, incorporate him, and just to see him have success and have him kind of coming into his role on the team, man, it's been huge.
This was the second straight week with that rebuilt offensive line. It looked better on Sunday. From your vantage point, did you feel like they were settling in a little bit?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's always room for improvement, but that was a step in the right direction. We finally got a lot of guys that getting a lot of movement. I mean, it was a couple of plays where we wasn't getting touched for like 5 yards, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So they definitely stepped in the right direction. Now, like I told them, I was like, man, you just keep stacking days. And you can see that they're starting to get confidence and they're starting to move faster and play faster. And that's what I like the most from them.
Josh, you had said after the Bears game that there were times you'd look at the film and you'd be like,
Yeah.
shoot. You didn't say shoot, but
Yeah.
what do you guys want me to do? When you look at the film from this game, what are you seeing?
I was like, I was really happy. I was like, man, everybody in our room, we was watching it. I don't know what most people do, but I watched it on the plane on the way home. And I was just watching the game, and I was like, man, yeah, So they creating lanes and stuff. So now it's more on me to trust and believe in the guys that they gonna do their job. You know what I'm saying, and not try to overly create, and just try to come in there. And then when they do mess up from time to time, make them right. You know what I'm saying. So I know that it's hard to be perfect in the game at any position. So man, but just seeing that they actually got that effort and the want to get better and the dog. I like when we get into it when it's a dog power and then we get the back and barking back and forth with the other teams, and you see one of the big guys step up and they defend you and things like that. I mean that's means more to me than a lot of things. So yeah.
Seemed like it was Alex's best game.
Yeah.
Well, from college, you've seen him play at this kind of a level. Were you just happy for him? Were you encouraged by it?
Oh yeah. I was happy for him, man, just to see because he get a lot of criticism, and I don't think people understand he's a young guy and he's new to the league. A lot of people take 2 to 3 years to really become into their own into this league. So just to see him finally get comfortable and block out all the noise and just work and just focus on working, and see him improve every day and see him getting in shape and running and things like that, it's definitely been huge.
I know he was a little before you, but another Alabama offensive lineman on the team. What do you know about him, I guess, and what have you heard about him?
DJ, man, he's an Alabama legend. I mean, he's on the walls in the building. He has ultimate respect by the coaches in that building in Alabama. And just to see him come in, and I told him, I was like, man, last game, it felt like it was like an Alabama Raider day. You know what I'm saying? So just to see them bringing in more guys, I think he's going to be a good addition to the team. Get him in here and get him in shape, get him acclimated to what we do here, and see where it goes.
Early on, just watching film, what is the biggest challenge you feel that the Eagles' defensive line provides?
Yeah, I mean, man, they got some dogs on their defensive line. They got some dogs in the secondary too. Very powerful, can move, can run, and I mean they got some guys that's been playing for a while. So we definitely gonna have a challenge this week. It's gonna be fun to get after them though. I told people, I said I couldn't remember the time where we was going into the bye week and we was standing in this type of position that we in right now. So man, we just gonna try to come in, do what we do, dominate, and hopefully win the game, and then come off that bye week and come off and try to finish the second half of the season stronger.
I know you said things got back to normal when you put the pads on Sunday, got on the field. Looking back now, how was last week for you guys? I mean, everybody has different emotions.
Yeah.
Was it crazy? Was it frustrating? Anger? Like, what was?
Nah, man, the sideline was just so. It was like it wasn't no anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like it was weird. It was like everybody was calm. You ain't have somebody cussing at you, going crazy at the refs. You know what I'm saying? None of that. It was just like, okay, something bad happened. He was like, okay, I'm not harping on you. He was like, all right, next play. And I feel like the guys, we all kind of motivated each other. You see a lot of defensive guys standing up, offensive guys jumping off the bench when the defense making plays and stuff. And I was like, that's the right type of energy that we needed. So I mean, I loved it.
Are you recognizing what the defense is doing when they're out there?
Oh yeah, I pay attention to everything a little bit. Even at practice, you know what I'm saying? Like when the defense is up, I watch what they do. Even today, I try to motivate the guys. I feel like they at the beginning, towards the end, they weren't flying around enough. So I was trying to, you know what I'm saying, make sure that we remember who we are and who we want to be. Especially with this week, with their offense doing a lot of screens, you know what I'm saying? They probably got the most screens in the league. Flying to the ball and things like that is very key for this game. And I mean, Miles, he's a great back. You know, I came in with him. I always thought he was a great back. So trying to get after him too is going to be a big point of emphasis. So I just try to tell them, man, they got a lot of guys that can fly. So y'all got to be able to run. So you got to condition yourself this week to be running.
Okay, well said.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Right now, sitting down. I'm tired. Where'd everybody go?
So into the bathroom on you.
They told us he was.
Okay, you said you were in a meeting.
Oh man.
I just told you you were in a you got out. I haven't been.
No, you're good. That's a first though. That was a first. In 8 years, that's a first. We got another one too.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You're good.
Alright, good report. Derek, you talked a lot in training camp about having improved trust in Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards, and we've seen that translate to the field so far this season. What's allowed you all to be so successful?
Yeah, I think you have to have one time on task, right? There's a certain level of trust you can build in practice. That's one thing, but playing football games is a completely another thing, And these guys have proven over and over and over again that they'll compete for the football when I throw it up to them. Just like I say I'm going to in training camp. I say I'm going to give these guys chances, and I think we've proven that I'm going to give them chances, and the thing that they get the most credit for is either they come down with it or nobody does, and that's the thing for me. If you want to play football that way, if Henry wants me to keep throwing it up to him, and he knows it's either him or nobody, and he continues to do that. Brian continues to do that. Waller obviously continues to do that. But for those two young receivers, like we said, I said I'm going to give them chances to make SportsCenter. It's just on them if they want to or not, And obviously there's a lot that I have to put it in the right place and all that kind of stuff. But meaning that I trust them, and they've proven it in the games. Practice is one thing. I've had a lot of guys that can do it in practice, and you get to the games, and it's hard to cut that ball loose after the third time of it not working, because I have decisions to make for everybody, in the whole organization. Every decision I make matters. And so they've proven over and over again that they'll make those plays.
Eric, it seems like Coach Bisaccia he's big on relationship building and
Yes.
talking and expressing yourself,
Yeah.
giving players voices. Sounds like he wanted you guys to have a little bit of a players meeting on Saturday where you can kind of let things out and talk
Yeah.
about moving forward. What happened in that meeting, and do you feel like those things are healthy, especially coming from a head coach?
Yeah, I've been a part of player meetings when they weren't so positive, many a time. And this one was put on by the head coach. If it's put on by the head coach, it's usually a good thing. And like I said after the game, I think if anything, through the craziness of whatever you want to call what we've been through, we've gotten closer. We're more unified. And I think it's a beautiful thing that something crazy could happen and a group of men could be even more unified and say, you know what, we're going to lock arms even tighter. And that's kind of what happened that night. And, John Abram looked at me, he's like, talk to us. And so I talked to him, and I'll leave what we said in there. But everyone just believes in one another, and it was a beautiful moment. Hopefully they can carry us past just one win, hopefully they can carry us the whole way.
That's what I was going to get to too. In the past, handling success has, maybe been an issue a little bit in those last couple of years. Do you feel like things like that, those meetings, what's happened, like you talked about locking arms, can help maybe deal with success just as it did with adversity?
One thing my brother taught me when I was a young kid, and something that Coach Bisaccia and Coach Gus talk about all the time with us, is really you're going to be praised and you're going to be criticized. Ignore both because neither matter. And it's something that they preach every day. Today we had more corrections, than oh yeah, good job on your win. And it's easy after a win to look over some things. And Coach Bisaccia is not going to do that. Just like Gru. But for everybody, I mean, we did it in a team meeting setting where everyone got to see this isn't good enough. This is what you did in practice. This is what happened in the game. That's not going to cut it. And it opened your eyes that every rep matters, and especially for the young guys, some of the older guys, they're like, obviously, the guys that have been in the league a while, they're in the league for a while for a reason. They practice right and they play as hard as they can. It's not perfect, but they play as hard as they can, And so the fact that he's pointing those things out hopefully will help us sustain it, because Lord knows we need to.
We keep seeing Henry kind of joking around here, smiling at you. You were wearing his shoes after the game. What's it been like just developing that relationship beyond football? And I feel like last year, whenever we asked someone about him, they just said he's quiet. Has more of his personality come out this year?
Yeah, he is typically a quiet guy, but his personality, I think his confidence is higher. I think he came in with the rookie mindset of I'm just going to shut my mouth and I'm just going to work hard, and just like I've always said, all rookies should do that. It's hard enough, let alone when you put even more pressure on yourself. So just try and stay quiet and just work your tail off. And Henry, has opened up so much. He communicates with me so well in the games. It's unbelievable how well he communicates and articulates exactly what he sees, and he's right. I've had guys all the time, oh man, you got to see me on this, and I'm like, dude, you're not open. He's right. When he comes over, he's like, hey, if they play it like this, I'm going to do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And then we go and do it in the game. And it's been really impressive to watch that grow. Our relationship has grown, a lot off the field. Obviously, I was wearing his shoes. Our relationship is growing. I've always tried to have a good relationship with all my teammates, especially my wideouts. Obviously, Devontae from college, Josh, Burse, all those guys, some of my best friends in the whole world, and then, going forward, I've always tried to have that, and it's something that, we're trying to build here as well. Hunter and I, we play golf. If we could, we'd play every day, but we can't, but we spend time together. We play video games together, Henry and I talk about things that we talk about. Brian and I talk about things that we talk about. I try and have that with, Zay is over at my house all the time. I just try and, whatever they're into and whatever they like, I try and have those relationships, and that's what we've been growing.
Derek, how important was it for you guys to get the running game going in terms of opening up everything else? It seemed like you guys had a breakthrough there.
It's going to be vital to us doing what we want to do. It's hard enough, to gain yards in this league, let alone if you just stand in one spot and drop back and, let guys know, hey, this is how we're going to have to do it. It's not an easy way to do things. Trust me. It's hard to do that in the NFL. Just drop back every play and here. If that's what it takes to win, then that's what we have to do. I've said that. Whatever it takes. Even the night before the game, I told Josh. I was like, Josh, if we have to throw it 70 times or if we have to throw it 5 times, I don't care. We have to win this game. And that's the mindset. But whenever we can do a balanced attack, that helps play action, that helps me get out of the pocket. Those rushers don't know where I'm going to be at every play. That helps not only the quarterback, but it helps the whole offense. They did some great things. Coach Cable, I won't get into the things and the details of what he was doing, but it definitely helped us with we had a lot of play actions that were good for us, and some screens that were good for us. Me getting out of the pocket that was good for us, and that stems from the running game. So. It was definitely huge for us, especially last week.
Derek, I know you're focused on the offense when you guys are on the sidelines, but are you noticing what the defense is doing? Guys like Max and Perryman and Casey Hayward and those guys?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know the last time I've seen 4 turnovers, in a game, and it was beautiful. It was like we get the ball there, like we get the ball in the 50, like that. I've always said that, like as an offense, like you get a turnover and you're running towards your end zone to go take the field, that is a good feeling. You're like, we have to get points now, and to watch these guys work during the games is one thing, but the way that they work at practice is why I know that they're successful in the games. I mean, Perryman is flying around everywhere. Max and Yannick are chasing the ball down 50 yards down the field. Casey, he's playing with everything, and he still is competing for the football in practice. He's not being a vet and just letting them catch it. Like, he is getting the football out, and whenever you have that kind of football character is what I'd call it. When you get to the games, it's exciting to watch because they're going to make plays.
Derek, what are some challenges that the Eagles secondary brings, primarily Darius Slay?
Oh my goodness, Darius! He's one of the funniest people in the world. He's a good dude who I've gotten to know a little bit over the years, but he's an even better football player. Man-to-man zone, he knows how to read routes. He's very smart. That's not even. He's one of the fastest corners in the NFL. The guy can still fly. He's really unbelievable. But yeah, Darius, he's definitely one of the top corners in the NFL, and he always presents a challenge no matter what scheme he's playing. Whether it's a predominantly man scheme, you got to be careful with it. If it's predominantly a zone scheme, you still have to be careful because he knows what he's doing. He's very, very intelligent, very good football player.
Derek, the Eagles have been a really zone-heavy team, and that's helped them limit teams from having many explosive plays through the air. Without getting too many details, like what are some of the ways that you can take advantage of that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean they're good. Well, it starts all up front with those guys. I mean their defensive line is really good football team. Linebackers very athletic, so they can get in the passing windows. They can all run. They hit anything moving, even their own guys. I'm watching on film. They're just blasting guys. And they want to play that physical brand, run and hit football. And then the secondary, not just Darius, but playing against Nelson and playing against some of the other guys, the safeties, they can run. They have range in the back end. They're very aggressive when it comes to trying to get the ball out and hitting the receivers to eliminate some. They've eliminated some big plays just on their aggressiveness. Just punching the ball out or making a big hit, things like that. Very impressive to watch. So we have to. For us, without obviously giving away details, for us, we have to just play clean football. I mean, we can't go out here and let one thing lack here, one thing lack there. We have to be, full go. We got to be ready to go from the jump. Because if we're not, they're going to punch us in the mouth because they got some really good talent on that side of the ball.
Derek, what kind of improvement have you seen from Colton the last few years, and what's your feel like for one another, and now with 3+ years together?
Colton Miller? Yeah, he's unbelievable. I thank God for that man every day. He's got to be one of the best, if not the best. Obviously, I'm biased because he protects me, but left tackles in all of football. What I love so much is when we drafted him, everyone was mad, and I would sometimes wonder where we would be if we didn't have him. I might be in a similar situation, as my brother was in Houston, and I am very thankful to have Colton. He's not only is he one of the better football players on our team, he's one of the better people on our team. You just love talking with him. I love having conversations with him. One thing I've always noticed about Colton, too, and I don't think he knows this, that I've noticed, is since he's been here, when he's coming into the huddle or out of the huddle, he always takes this 5-yard turn away from me because he never wants to be close to me. And I love that about him. As a left tackle, he never wants to be close to the quarterback. So I don't think I don't think he knows that I've noticed that, but walk through, practice anything. He always, if he's running at me, he'll go 5 yards around me just so he practices not being close to me all the time. So I appreciate that.
That's good.
You a fan of the opener in playoff baseball, or you just want your starter going out there and trying to pitch the whole game for the Dodgers?
I want to pitch for the Dodgers. That's why I would love to have the ball tonight. But no, I'm gonna trust Dave Roberts on that one. He knows. Obviously, he's a championship coach. He knows what he's doing, or manager. Sorry, different sport. But he knows what he's doing. But if he ever needs, some help along the way, I would love to rock number 4 for the Dodgers. That'd be great.
One last cross court. When you and Hunter are on the golf course, who wins?
Me, absolutely. No, I think I'm up just by a little bit though. So, but don't tell him. He's gonna know now. Now he's gonna go practice all day. So appreciate you guys.
What was the vertical leap on Bellinger's home run?
Oh my goodness!
Big moment.
Talking baseball.
Hey, I know you talked about last week with the game and Carr trusting in you, just throwing the ball up there, and he kind of spoke about having more trust in you and Brian collectively. What kind of went into that? It's one thing to do that in practice, as he said, but seeing that translate to games, what was going into that transition for you?
I mean, like I said, like I always say, it's just a testament to our hard work. I mean, we started in the summer, and I mean, just starting from where we started last year, we know we had to make improvements, and that was just what we set our mind to. So, I mean, day in, day out, just talking to him, understanding, how he sees things, how he thinks, sitting in the film room with him, and just, developing that camaraderie on and off the field, and it makes everything better. So, I mean, we trust him, he trusts us, so we just got to go make plays for him and make him look good.
From a receiver's standpoint, Henry, how much does it help you out when you guys have a breakthrough in the running game the way you did in Denver?
I mean, it always helps. I mean, play complementary football, from defense to offense to special teams. And, in all phases of the game, you want to be clicking on all cylinders. So when we have the run game going, it makes the weapons on the outside, that much scarier.
All right, guys?
I know you guys were trying to block out everything last week and just focus on the game and get to Sunday. But today, like getting back to practice, everything's behind you. Did this feel like the return of normalcy?
I mean, just like the world. I mean, I don't think anything will ever be back to normal. So it's just like, I mean, it's a situation that we had to deal with, that we had to kind of overcome, and just continue to be who we are. So that's just what we have to keep doing moving forward. I mean, regardless of if it's a week, a month, or maybe 2 seasons down the road, we're still gonna hear about this this season and that situation. So I mean, it'll never go away. It'll never change. It'll always be different. But we're the same team, and we have to stay the course.
You guys are a pretty young team, one of the younger teams in the league. What does it say about just the locker room and your all's maturity that you were able to bounce back for something like that?
It just shows not only the resilience that everybody has, but the camaraderie that we have in the locker room. Like I said, like everyone always says, it's a brotherhood in the locker room, and you can obviously tell that we've come together and realized that no matter what happens on the outside, we control our own destiny, and we control what happens in between the lines. So we have to just come in every day, work, and lean on each other at all times.
Coach, what's your relationship been with Coach Rich, not only since he's become the interim head coach, but even before as on special teams?
I mean, we've always had a good, a pretty good relationship. I mean, with special teams, he always tried to give me to get a role and and be somebody that could, be a spark on special teams. Since I wasn't doing what I wanted to do on offense and being the person that I am now. So that was just another way to create a spark. But he was just always in my corner, regardless of what was going on the field.
Josh said the sideline felt a little calmer on Sunday. Did you notice that at all?
Yeah, I mean you can. I mean, obviously you don't hear the yelling and screaming as much, but I mean, at the end of the day, we still got to go play football. Whether it's the crowd screaming, a coach screaming, or a player screaming, we got to go do the same thing regardless every day.
You guys all set? All right, thank you guys.